This is your count day assignment for math and games. So you need to watch this video, write down the solutions to this review, and then just take a pic and submit it in Canvas, and I'll mark it completed, and then it'll be worth some points in PowerSchool. But make sure you do this. Virtual students, you may put your answers on notebook paper. Okay, in the wonderful game of Yahtzee, it was my favorite game as a youngster. There are some things that are good to know. I threw a little bit more math in here than normal because it is math and games, boys and girls. So how many dice are rolled? 5. And the least likely roll of the dice, of course, is a Yahtzee, 5 of a kind. And that's actually, you have 6 chances out of 7,776 chances of doing that. So you could have all 1s, all 2s, all 3s, all 4s, or all 5s, or all 6s to get a Yahtzee. So there's a lot of outcomes. Again, 7,776. So it's a probability of on the first roll of getting all 5s, 1 out of that, and then getting a Yahtzee 6 because you can again roll all 1s through all 6s. What's the maximum number of points you can score in Yahtzee, assuming that one gets a Yahtzee but no bonus Yahtzees? So here I scored it out, and it's about knowing really the idea of, okay, you get a Yahtzee, which is right here, the 50. I was stumbling around for a moment there. And then you cannot get any more Yahtzees, and it doesn't really matter, when you get it. You could get it early in the game. You could get it late in the game. The point is you only get one of them. So because you're going to score that 50 for that Yahtzee, that means you really can only get 4 of a kind the rest of the way. So 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s. So assuming the whole rest of the way, you get 4 of a kind, which is kind of awkward and not very likely to happen, but can happen. So the highest score with just a Yahtzee at any point is 351. And this kind of lays it out. Again, the concept being 4 of a kind is the most that you could get. Can you get like all Yahtzees on every roll? Yes, there's actually an article that goes through this. But this is the highest game you can get with just one Yahtzee. And typically that's what happens. How many points would one score on a roll? That is a bonus Yahtzee of all 6s with no points in the upper section recorded in the 6 box. So you would get 100 for a bonus Yahtzee, and then 30 for all 6s if you didn't have that filled in. Number 7, what is the procedure for determining the number of points scored on a roll that is a bonus Yahtzee of all 6s with points scored in the upper section of the 6 box? So since you have that filled in, you have to go down below to the 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind box that would be available. So I probably should have said in the question, assuming that the 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind box is available. Okay, so 30 points for either one there. If you have to record a 0, where is the best box according to probability to put the 0, assuming that that box is available? Of course, the Yahtzee box, just because you're not likely to get a Yahtzee, and that would probably be your best bet. Although I'm not saying that to do that, but that's probability wise says what you should do. Okay, trying to get as many points as you can in the upper section. This is a strategy. Shoot for 3 of a kind as your minimum. This will give you at least 63 and thus the 35-point bonus. So I kind of laid this out here, right here. So if you get 3 of a kind on each of these, you get 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 plus 18 adds to 63, and then you'll get the the bonus of 35. And now down below here, you see what's called a probability distribution. What's a probability distribution? It's all the possibilities that can happen in an event. So there's 6 out of 7,776 possibilities of a Yahtzee, so on and so forth. So you need to figure these other two out based upon the fact that all of these will sum, the numerators will sum to 7,776. So large straight you can figure out like this. So there's 6 chances in the first roll, and then that's a particular number. And then 5, you're assuming that you're getting all different ones. Then 4, and then 3, and then 2, and that's it because you have 5 dice. So, and you're assuming again that you get a number and that the next one is a different number that you're not repeating. So this is the multiplication counting principle. 6 choices for the first one, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. And so you multiply all that up and you get 720. Now, what about this 4,440? So you simply add the 1,200, the 150, the 960, the 720, the 300, and the 6, and subtract that number from 7,776, and you get the remaining, just, I guess, jambalaya of possibilities. Okay, so have this filled in, which means that you watch the video, and submit this, take a picture of it and submit it in, you can just upload it in Canvas. It doesn't have to be on this paper. You can just fill out the results and do that. And remember that it will count for a score.